Need to turn the piano so Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Nice to see you on this sunshiny morning.
Yes, it got warm really early this morning. At 6:30, it was 79. I thought, oh boy.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be the hottest day that we've had this year so far. So I hope everybody can stay in and stay cool.
Yes, that's my plan for today.
Unfortunately, I have to do some things outside. So in the heat of the afternoon, but it has to be done. So we march forward.
Yes, we make the best of everything.
Debbie, I thought yesterday was absolutely fantastic. It was so enjoyable. People were smiling and clapping. It was really, really special. And to carry the theme, climb the mountain, every mountain through the whole service was very meaningful. I really like that new adjustment to the service.
Well, and I think that departing yesterday with Do, Re, Mi, I mean, the first three notes just happen to be Do, Re, Mi. And I think that we all have beginnings. And so beginnings are important because it's a sign that we can start over and there's hope. New beginnings are hope.
That is right. And it's faith that helps us with that hope to be positive.
Yes. And the other thing about climbing every mountain, I mean, I think today we could discuss perhaps everybody's personal mountains. We've all had them. Everybody sitting in the pew has had a personal mountain to climb. And when you get to the top and you start down, you feel like there's a sense of accomplishment. And in some way, you're changed. You've seen the view from the top. The experiences getting there built you up and you didn't even know. And you get to the top and you look at the reward of the beautiful vistas before you. And you look at the lands of opportunity. And you start down your mountain and you think, man, I got it now. I got everything I need for the next thing.
I've got it made.
Yeah.
So one of the quotes that I read about climbing mountains was, there's no glory in climbing a mountain if all you want is to get to the top. And it's just what you said, Debbie. It's experiencing the climb itself in all its moments of revelation, of heartbreak, fatigue. That has to be the goal, the whole experience. And then there was one from Zig Ziglar from, 40 years ago, probably. You can't climb a mountain with downhill thoughts.
Absolutely. That'd be like towing a Mercedes Benz or a Cadillac behind you. You're trying to get up the mountain and your negative thoughts are burying you and you don't make any progress. You can't tow them. You just can't. It doesn't work. As much as we like those negative thoughts and we've hung on to them for decades and we don't know how to let them go. But I think one of the big things about climbing a mountain is learning how to let things go.
Well, and that's what Pastor Lydia was talking to us about yesterday.
Yes.
What things do we let go? And what things do we leave behind? Certainly all those heavy, physical heavy objects. But
emotionally heavy objects are even worse because you've gotten used to a way of thinking. And that's the hard part, is change. Change is
Change?
hard.
Did you
Change
say
is,
change?
I know. Isn't that an awful thought?
Oh my goodness.
But I've learned to embrace that. I
I
like
know.
change. I like change. When I was young and in the workplace, I can remember thinking, oh, we have to change this. Oh, man, I just got used to the other one and I don't want to do that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality, which in some ways might work for some things, but it really doesn't work in the long run. Sometimes you have to change in order to make it better. It's like
Well,
the
and
worship. It's like the worship service yesterday.
yes.
We
Ooh,
had
it
to
was
make
better.
we had to make a couple of little changes, and it made a huge difference. I don't
Yep.
think you have to change your whole life, but I think making a little change here and a little change there, and maybe a couple of days from now you make another little change. It comes slowly and with deliberate effort.
And
It's
I don't think the changes were so noticeable to those that were in on the backside of that planning, but the flow and the smoothness of the service and how everything just related from the beginning, from the prelude clear through to the postlude. It was fabulous.
Well, I have to tell you from the backside of it, there was a lot of effort that went into that,
Oh yes.
and a lot of angst, heart, uh, not heartbreak, but just heartfelt, uh,
Challenge.
yes, stress and anxiety that, we want so much to make it a wonderful experience for people. And that's what the challenge is. And then to let go of your anxieties is really hard because there's been comfort in what happened before, but now we need to embrace what is happening now. And the little things made all the difference.
Oh, it did. It
People
did.
that deal in details, I totally appreciate because it's not my strong point. And I'm happy to let others deal with details because I feel they are best suited for that. God built them for that purpose. And
So
so,
the planning that went in to yesterday, in essence, that was a mountain
yes,
that the planning team climbed that together,
yes.
and then the downhill slide was wee so enjoyable.
Well, it was because it worked well.
It
Once
did.
we let go of all the things that were holding us back, we flew. We had a chance to soar.
Yes.
And so I think that, there's going to be a few bumps along the way, and different personalities will bring different gifts to the service. So as we change vocalists, as we change accompanists, as we change worship leaders and song leaders, it's going to feel a little different because each of those groups, as they come together, will bring a little something new and something just as good or better.
Yeah.
So I have high hopes for the next one and the next
Yes.
one after that and the next one after that, because
Change brings a refreshing look, a new start, new challenges, new good challenges, not bad challenges, but new good challenges come with change. And so when we say, oh golly, resisting change, don't, like you said, I just learned the old way.
it's kind of like getting on a roller coaster. You get
It
on the roller
is.
coaster, and there are those of us that hang on to the bars of the roller coaster for dear life. And then there are those that throw their arms up in the air and ride the roller coaster exuberantly, where they just let it all go and they enjoy the moment of free fall. I have to say I'm somewhere in between the letting go and the hanging on for dear life on a roller
Yeah.
coaster.
And we want to make sure that we always, especially on a roller coaster, we ask God to make that climb with us. Please be my co-pilot. I need a co-pilot on this. And that's the way it is through life.
Yes,
We are so much, life is so much easier if we have a co-pilot. And God is always there to be our co-pilot.
that's why we need the children in our service, because they just let it all go and they are just themselves. And we need that example every week of being in the moment and just being themselves. And I think that it's hard for adults to just kind of let go. And when we look at the children, we see what's possible. And
We
so
do.
yes. And I
And
was totally
it's like,
blessed.
yes, let, because through the eyes of children, everything is easy and simple and fun. And as adults, we make things more difficult. Sometimes we put mountains on our own path. And then it's like, wow, if you put them there, how do you really figure out how to handle those? I remember my mom saying, everything doesn't have to become a mountain. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill.
That was one of my mom's favorite sayings.
Yeah. So let the little stuff be little stuff. Focus on what's really important, and not the little molehills.
Right. Well, Sue, what could you tell us? Maybe you have a personal mountain that you'd like to share with us?
Oh golly, one right now, a mountain that I'm climbing is leadership of a statewide organization with lots of members. It's like everything. Membership is not, of course, where you want it to be, but the mountain or the challenge is, how do you get new people involved and bring them along with you? And I don't know that I'll ever reach the top of the mountain. Maybe, maybe we have a board meeting this weekend. That mountain won't come that quick, and I know that. So you have to be realistic also about mountains that you climb, and it's the same way with church. We have little mountains that pop up, but we have learned that if you have a co-pilot or you have a good team with you, then it's so much easier and so much more rewarding.
Well, it was so much fun yesterday to see people step into the roles that they had. And I think as we stepped into it, we were a little apprehensive. And then the more people stepped into it, the more solid it became. It was like, instead of the rolling ocean under our feet or a bog or quicksand, we all of a sudden were standing on firm ground. And sometimes I think that that's important.
And our mountains are so different. They have a wide range. It's not what you think. Oh, look at the beautiful Mount Everest or whatever. Mountains, we have emotional mountains, a lot of emotional mountains. We have mountains in friendships. We have mountains in our family. And we just, again, we have to ask God to be there with us in all of those situations. The only way that we will ever fail is if we quit trying. Not trying admits failure. And trying looks different in every situation. Trying looks different to different people.
Well, I had the same experience in a statewide organization where we were building membership. And that is really a hard thing to do. But we got grounded in the training. But you don't trust your training the first few times you try it out. And so you keep trying, and sometimes you meet with success, and then other times you meet with negativity and it doesn't work, and you're almost ready to give up, and then all of a sudden you have a breakthrough. But having a good friend beside you, having faith in God to know that, he's not going to let you fail. He's going to try and build you up and lift you up as long as you are making that climb with him, and he is the goal. But it's like dragging a big, huge boulder behind you. And I'm so when I had a breakthrough, it was like euphoria. It's like you can't explain how wonderful that feels when you do have a breakthrough, when you do make progress, when you do meet the goal, or at least a step toward the goal. It doesn't matter. You don't have to reach the whole thing at once. You take a little piece and you reach that. You take another little piece and you put that on top of the piece you just had. And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain.
Right.
Because you've built your staircase.
So if we think about where were we yesterday on the mountain, and where are we today? What is our goal to reach today on that mountain? We just don't ever want to stop trying.
No.
Which leads us right into the second part of our a poem that was shared. And I want to read this, and then Debbie and I will try to pick it apart a little bit with our ideas. It's from a quote from L.R. Nost, and I could never figure out what her first name was, never saw it in print. But she's the author of many books about raising children. She's a founder and director of a children's rights advocacy and family consulting group. So here it is. Here's to the bridge builders, the hand holders, the light bringers, those extraordinary souls wrapped in ordinary lives who quietly weave threads of humanity into an inhumane world. They are the unsung heroes in the world at war with itself. They are the whisperers of hope that peace is possible. Look for them in this present darkness and light your candle with their flame, and then go build bridges, hold hands, bring light into a dark and desperate world. Be the hero you are looking for. Peace is possible. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with us. Powerful words.
And it's so true.
So
As you have life experiences, you can relate to that poem in a very personal way, I think.
Yeah. So how do we build bridges?
Listening. I think that's probably the most important thing.
I agree. That simple question, how are you today? Or did you sleep good? What's your challenge for today? Is something that makes it personal. And how do we hold hands? If we're a hand holder, supporting.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be a physical touch.
Oh, no.
It has to, it's more or less, if you're not comfortable with a physical touch, then it's kind of important to make that emotional connection.
Yep.
To be supportive in body language, in words, in actions. So I think that's those more subtle expressions are more powerful than the actual right then, having to touch everything. I don't know that we have to touch everything. And some
Right.
people are uncomfortable with that. And all they really need is an encouraging word.
And that's where the light bringers come in. Encouraging words, verbal support.
And knowing that you are enough. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone else. You can be that. You and your wholeness can do things. You don't have to have everything in place. You can do it. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You are an original. We are all different, and it's okay. And that was really put forward yesterday with all the different personalities in the team we had up on the chancel leading worship yesterday. It was a myriad of different personalities and different gifts and different strengths, and it all worked for God's good because he was there with us, and that's what made the connection and the magic.
And that was like, so the team, the worship team yesterday was the light bringers because of all the light, the beauty that was shed on the congregation, listening and enjoying. Okay. How about those extraordinary souls wrapped in ordinary lives who quietly weave threads of humanity into an inhumane world? So I looked up some definitions. I mean, you think inhumane. Well, we know cruelty, harsh treatment for people and animals, or uncaring, lack of concern. And then humanity.
Uninvolvement is what I think of. I think not being involved in any way, sitting in the pew on Sunday and not engaging with worship. Sometimes it's enough for people to be sitting there with their friends and just kind of taking it all in, but never really being fully engaged. And I think yesterday that was a difference for a lot of people as they were able to engage. Music kind of made the tie, connected people.
And humane, caring, loving, compassionate. That's kind of what the whole thing is that we're talking about.
Exciting.
Caring for other people, not being afraid if you are so inclined, not being afraid to say, hey, can we just go to lunch? Can you help me with whatever? Can you just listen to me for a while? I just need to rant.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Now that's true compassion.
Yeah, because listening to sometimes they just have to blow off steam. But the other thing about the ranting, sometimes beautiful things come from it.
They do.
Change can come from it. Because at the end of the rant, you take a journey when you rant. You're frustrated, you might be angry at the beginning of your rant. By the time you're at the end of your rant, well, maybe you've found a solution, talked yourself through it, and your friend sitting across the table from you has encouraged you in that journey. So you feel, well, okay, well, I can fix this. I can do this. I can find my way now. But it does take that kind of connection to do it sometimes.
Yeah, that support, that encouragement, the compassion that's being shared. Okay, I don't want to run out of time. They are the unsung heroes in the world at war with itself. That's a place where God isn't. The world is at war with itself, where God is not included. And think how easy that is to fix. To not be at war with ourselves if we just invited God in. If we could get rid of the hatred and replace it with love, the world would be so much better. And I think another thing is thinking of others' feelings and their needs instead of always putting ourselves first. And sometimes that's really hard.
Well, the other thing is too, when you compare yourself to others, you're selling yourself short. And so I think there's two sides to that. And I think it's important to know where we are with that. And so I agree that serving others is important and it connects us to others. But it also, we can't sell ourselves short or else we'll never serve others. We don't feel like we have anything to offer. And so I think that we have to remember that we do have a gift or two or five. And well, the other thing is you're not just selling yourself short, you're selling God short. He has built you, He has made you in His own image. You are enough. You don't sell yourself short because you have much to offer. It takes all of us.
It does. So if you're on the giving end, someone has to be on the receiving end. If we are giving support, we are caring, we are compassionate, we are loving, someone is on the other end of that equation. And as a receiver, we need to be accepting. We need to be grateful. And I guess accept the fact that we all are needy. We all need help. We all need that person on the other side that is sharing with us to build us up. We're not strong all the time. We're not at the top of that mountain every day, all day. That some days the climb is really hard. And those that have gotten to the top and are on their way down, they're the ones that are, we did it. Now we can go spread the light to the rest of the world.
Well,
we just keep climbing.
That was like working with Donna Rakicki yesterday and with the rehearsal. It was such a blessing. She just lights up a room when she walks in. She's full of good ideas and experience. It's such a treat to work with someone who has been doing music for a long time. They know the ins and outs, and they know one mistake doesn't make you fail. Most people never hear your mistake. You hear it because you know it. But it's most people listening aren't going to hear that tiny little mistake you made. So you can't let it destroy you and not be able to deliver the performance or to deliver the music. She just is such a blessing. She's, it's just, she lives it, the smile on her face. It's infectious in such a good way.
I think that this is the next sentence. There are whisperers of hope that peace is possible. Donna is a whisperer of hope.
Yes.
She's just, like you said, vibrant and so enjoyable to be around, so talented, so many great ideas on doing
Well, her
things.
life experience has brought her to this place, and this is what we have to shoot for. We need to be like the Donna in our lives. That's what we're striving for, and wherever we are right this minute, we want to be like Donna, where we bring our life experience that has not destroyed us, but built us and made us strong, and be able to share that with us. And it's so important that we have that. I'm so excited that she's joined us.
And the last line of this, light your candle with their flame. Well, I want to light my candle with Donna's flame for sure.
Amen.
And then go out, light other candles. We have to carry that flame of hope that God is giving us. Build those bridges.
Pass the torch to the next person.
Pass
Kind of like the Olympics.
Yes.
That we're getting ready to see on TV now. But I mean, they pass the torch. They do.
The next
and
generation. You take it and you run.
Yes.
Yeah. So build bridges, hold hands, bring light into the dark, a desperate world. Be the hero you are looking for. Peace is possible. And that peace begins with each one of us. So
and don't sell yourself short. You have it within you because God built you and made you.
So take that and go into the world today and this week and light someone's candle. If you need your candle lit, lean towards their flame. Lean in. You can do this. And we have another exciting Sunday planned for you for next week. So we will see you then.
That's right.
Week.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.